friends, welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. I had a dub over this. The sound was really off. But we are in Frugal Living Challenge 25, an open collaboration, until the end of December. So y'all come along and check out what I'm doing in my kitchen today. We have a lot of food prep to do today. First off, we have these baked beans that was gifted to me by a friend, and I can't put them in canning jars, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. I also have these vegetables from the Amish, and I'm going to be taking the zucchini and squash and making riced zucchini and squash in dehydrator and cutting up the bell peppers. I also have all those dried cayenne peppers. What will I do with those today? One of the best tools I have found for holding my bags is my jar lifter. So we're going to use the jar lifter. And I've already labeled my bags. I'm going to put these up in quart bags. Now it may not be a full quart, but you know, it's just me and my husband. We don't need a big serving of beans. So you just stretch your bag out over your jar lifter. I'm going to use a funnel to funnel the beans into my pan, and let me grab a scoop to scoop my beans. I'm going to try to get my beans as close to this as I possibly can to keep from making a huge mess. But I also brought out a spoon because I know the last little bit is going to be hard to get out of here. And I'm just going to put in about 2 cups of beans into a bag. One more scoop. And that would equal about a pint of beans. So I'm just going to set that over there. Show you how quickly this goes together. And I'm using zip bags. And I'm just going to make sure I've got as much air out of them as possible. And I will lay these flat in my deep freeze so that they freeze evenly. The reason you don't use these to can with is, first of all, they're commercially canned. It's not a guarantee that you're going to have a good product come out of your canner. Let me get a rag. And if you can them, they will turn to mush because of the time it takes to thoroughly cook your bean through in the canner to assure that there's no botulism. And when they get mushy, it's hard for them to cook through or heat through properly. So we are going to put these in our deep freeze. I did look it up. I was thinking maybe I could can them, and I wanted to make sure because I want to have safe food on my pantry shelf. Now, some of you Rebel canners may have done this in the past, and if you are a Rebel canner and your product turned out good, please tell me in the comments how you did it, because I'm always interested in learning new techniques for my canning. Now, I'm not a Rebel canner per se, but I am one of those people that believe that there are instances where Rebel canning would be beneficial. And so I'm also making sure that I've got about an equal amount of beans in each one of my bags. So that's another reason I'm doing it this way. And I know that from the freezer, I can come back out and I can have these ready to go. And all I have to do is let them defrost, and they'll be good to go. And my friend made these for a church event. This was the leftover pan. And I asked her if I could take the pan because she said they were probably going to throw it away. And we don't want to waste food, so this is free food for us. For the riced zucchini, even though I have a very fine mesh on my dehydrator, I'm going to cover it with a piece of parchment paper to keep it from falling through, because I do plan on ricing this, kind of getting it small. We'll see how small I can get it. And I'm just going to cap the ends of these. These will be going to the chickens. And then I'm going to cut them small enough to go through my food processor. It is recommended to dehydrate between 115 degrees Fahrenheit and 125 degrees Fahrenheit for about 12 hours. I turn mine up to about 145. I do most all of my dehydration at that temperature, but that is the recommended time and temperatures for dehydrating your riced squash. Beautiful peppers. Because these are organically grown, I could save the seed, but I have so many bell pepper seeds, y'all. I'm not going to save them. I'm going to go ahead and cut these bell peppers up, and I need a bowl to put them in. So let me grab a bowl. So I got a bowl. And if there's any bad spots on there, I'll just cut them off. And the bad spots will go to the chickens. And because I'm going to be using this in a certain dish, I'm cutting them kind of big. There they are. Let me grab a bag. We'll get those bagged up and get them into the freezer. Beautiful bell peppers. Okay, I am not going to grind these today. I am going to jar them up whole and then later on I'll be grinding them up as needed. So right now I'm just going to get them off of these clothespins and get them into the bowl. This is how I live intentionally. It's all about the food security because, y'all, we really don't know what's coming down the pike. Are you prepared in your household if there was no food on the grocery store shelves for you to purchase? Are you prepared to go a long, hard winter with no food? So we always are prepping and preparing, whether it is canning, dehydrating, or freezing our foods so that we make sure that we have plenty of food for our family. Well, we got a lot accomplished today. What have you got going on in your kitchen? I'd like to know what's left in your garden and what are you frugally saving? Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.